we start streaming, I stop recording, and then I can, let me put this a little bit more backwards. Okay, I think we are live. Let me check the actual thing so that I can share the link. I'm not really showing up here. Great. Yo, am I live? I think I am, but I'm not too sure about that. Yeah. Okay, we're live. Okay, let me grab the link and say, go to the announcements and say live if anyone interested. Here we go. We put this in here. Okay, I can now close this tab. Then I'm gonna do this. All right. Krishna Zero, yo, no, you can stop. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna stream in a while. Do you mean because of the title? I am going on a holiday trip, and I don't think I will be able to stream because of the internet that I will have there, unfortunately. But I think I will be able to program, you know. I will still do things on GitHub, but I just don't think I will be able to stream. I think maybe I will, but the quality might not be that great. Alright, this is updated. Here we go. See test, and then there's run here. Tell them run, and then okay. And then there's a test thing. Great. So now I have to do another thing, which is, I guess, ctest.c. And then, okay, test result. There should be something like unit results. Test result, I guess, test results. Whoops. Then I think I should change this in here just so that test result. So if it's a test result, then there should be a test failed. Yeah, I get 20 errors. But yeah, test passed, and then total tests, maybe tests. What do you mean duplicate member? Oh shoot. We're just gonna go past. Right, and now I have to fix pretty much everything in here, which is not great. Total search, I guess is gonna be total tests. Test passed. Okay, here we go. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna change it. This is staying like this. Yeah. So what else can I do? Alright, how can I do this? Okay. Okay. Alright, seems fun. Yeah, sure, I'll just keep it like that for the moment. Struct in charge of the results of all the asserts that take place, I guess. And then struct in charge of the results of the different tests the user makes, I guess. So now then, might be in here, yeah. So where is this? Okay, so this is in here. I do have it. External text results, there we go. And then I should have something like this. I guess tests. Test results. Okay. There we go. So now I can go in here and have something like this, and this is gonna be, whoops. So I guess test results dot this is total asserts. Test results dot I guess total asserts. Well, test results dot test passed, and then test results dot assert. Sorry, failed. Okay. Whoops. So now I should have something like, well, I guess I can do this. Test main with all these different things, and then C test. Okay, I didn't have something like this in here. All right. So now I would like to know what the hell this is, because I did it at the very beginning of this project, so I don't really remember what I had before. All right. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to say. Okay. Okay, so I can do this. Wait, what the hell just happened? Wait, I just lost my chat. Wait. It turns out I cannot actually do a pop-out chat? What the fuck? So what if I put this in Firefox? Shit. So let me put this back in 3. And I'm gonna put, whoa. Alright, so now this is in here. Then can I put this? Okay, I can put this back in here. Okay, and can I not do a pop-out chat? What are you talking about? Okay, there we go. But yeah, I cannot have it in a normal size. Not good. Not good at all. Right, well, I'm gonna bring back the chat. Alright, so I do have a group, right? And you have to pass the group as that, and then so I just do all this, run group which has test and then the name. Right. I don't think this can be assigned to null, right? What? No. Oh. I guess there was a null pointer here. But there's no such thing. Alright. Wait, why am I getting an error now? Oh yeah, I think I know why. There we go. Alright. Where's my chat? Okay, so my chat is in here. Alright. So test. Yes. Great. So now I have an add test, right? And then when I add a test, I can have, okay, so could have a test result dot total asserts plus plus, right? Because a new one has been added. Okay, and then when I say run tests, at the same time I can say test results dot I guess this doesn't make any sense actually. Yeah, this struct does not make any sense. Okay, so let's just say alright, let me change the struct then. Because this is not really making any sense. Test result. What happens if I get rid of this? Nothing happens. So this is not used at all. Alright. I guess that I could have a new one saying test passed. No, this is search passed. Okay, there we go. And then what can I do? Alright, so I guess I could add a new one called I mean, this one could be actually test result. This could be assert result. Actually, let me call it there we go. And then this has a new one, yeah, which I'm going to pretty much scrub in here. Whoops. There we go. And then this is going to be test result. There we go. Assert failed. This is not going to be assert failed, but this is rather going to be total test result. I mean, test group. Yeah, I don't know. I think I should structure this in a better way. Not making that much sense. Okay, so we comment this thing. Result. Yep. Test passed. Wait, what do you mean test passed? Okay, so yeah, sure. Test group, C test, test result. I guess you're gonna have a bold, let's go test passed. Right, and now this is not gonna complain. Great, so this doesn't complain either. I think I'm gonna ask my friend. Okay, so I am developing a testing library in C. For now, the library mostly contains assert functions like the JUnit assert functions. I also want to implement an option for the user to create and run its own tests, as well as add in set tests in a group. Alright, so now I'm gonna say cat include ctest, and then I'm gonna give it, this is a big ass file, but I don't care. Okay, so I thought about this. These are some of the structs that I came up with for this, I guess, feature. Which I guess I could create a new one. Hey man, what's up? What platform do you use to learn programming language, or do you read programming books? Any recommendation for learning? Mostly what I do is either watch a YouTube video about the language, and then I just try to jump immediately into a simple project to get to know the syntax and whatnot. But yeah, for example, for C and C++, I used books, which actually, let me see if I can tell you which books I used. If this wants to load, of course, which doesn't seem to. Can't seem to load the launcher. Great. I think for C++ I used a tour of C++. I think it's what it's called. A tour of C++. There we go. And then for C, I used the C programming language, which is kind of like the most known book. But yeah, mostly it's just like reading a bit of the book, trying to, get the most basic things. And then once I have that covered, then my recommendation would be to just go straight into a project, to start fighting with the language, start understanding it and all that kind of stuff. And then if you have any questions, you can either go back into the book, see if the answer is there, or maybe go into Stack Overflow if it's a very specific question. And then you can also ask ChatGPT for that, to explain different features of the language that you're trying to learn. Because what are you trying to learn? Was that like a general question, or was it because you're trying to learn a specific language, Ahmed? Thanks. Is that Chromium? Yes, it is Chromium. I don't know why, but on Hyperland, Chrome gives me like a lot of problems. And somebody suggested that I could use Chromium, and I started to use it a few days ago, and it has not given me any problems. So yeah, this is Chromium. Okay, so back to what I wanted to ask. So I don't want you to give me any code, but rather help me structure the different details of this feature. Alright. I was one of them to recommend the Chromium, but I used it on Ubuntu. Never tried Arch yet. Oh, so you were the one that actually recommended it? Well, in that case, thank you very much. It has been great so far. Now I'm trying to learn JS and also full stack. Wow. This is not Arch, by the way. This is Fedora with Hyperland, but not Arch. I don't really like Arch and having to do everything yourself. I want to have some sort of like already built things, and then from that maybe do my own configuration. But yeah, test registration, allow users to add test, text execution control, run a single test with a C-test, tenor rest group, run all groups. Alright, so this looks great. Test lifecycle. Prepare test result, allocate reset memory if needed. Run the test function. BSC test.func rest, finalization collect results, maybe print out, but if verbosity is enabled. Type shit. Alright, let me move the chat to my second monitor actually. Okay. There we go. Alright. This is better. Let me actually put this in. Can I move this maybe here? I cannot move it to the same tab. Shit. Okay, let me, I'm having a bit of a problem now. Alright, there we go. Okay, let me close this now. Test result aggregation. Let's let each test group collect and aggregate results per group count of total pass failed, total test, pass test, fail test, test result, or have each test group into a test group result. Okay, our test groups and test suits the same thing. Request and related but not exactly the same. Collection of related tests. Okay, so it's just a form of actually, well, shit. Alright, well, suits might go later. I don't care about him. Okay, so I do have my test suit, which is not really important right now. Game source, ctest.c. Okay, there we go. So what can I do now? Alright, so let me fix my strokes then. So I do have the strict result, right? Then I have my test result, which is an unsigned int of total test, past tests. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Total tests. What do you mean 20, bro? What are you talking about? No. Okay, I know what I have to change actually. So let me look for extern test results. They're gonna be an assert result. There we go now. Alright, so total test, tests passed, I guess, test passed, and then tests failed. Alright, so then Boolean test passed. I don't think this is relevant right now. Alright, so but do you think the structure of the structs that I gave you are fine? Or does it need some changes? Or do they need some changes? Alright, instructions has a solid starting point and will thought of C-test and library. C static nature. That said, there are some areas where improvements can make your design. Assert result, simple focus, test result. Yeah, this is not really what I want. Suggestions. I feel like failure messages, optional error detail, thought duration, test duration if you want time and info. I guess it could be important as well. C-test, functional until the point, I guess so. Suggestions, WoolPies might be redundant since rest.test pass already contains this info. It's a test result. Yeah, that might be true. Okay, I think I know what. Okay, so this is relevant now. I think this is relevant now. There we go. You are a assert result. Don't worry about that. Then why do I have total asserts? What do you mean? Whoa. Okay, so now asserts failed. Okay, yeah. This failed. Okay. So this is going to be total tests. Total test yet again. I guess. Sorry, this is test passed. And then test failed. There we go. And test results, I guess. Total tests. Go dot rest. Yeah, I might have to change this now. Alright, actually, let me do something. Latest changes. I'm gonna do a new branch to work on the I guess user tests and test groups. Alright, and then once I have this, git checkout B, I'm just gonna call it groups tests, or maybe tests groups. Yeah. Okay, so now I can work on this without a problem. Total asserts. This is gonna be total tests. There we go. Total. Tests, I guess, failed. Yes. I guess test passed, even though all of this I don't think I'm gonna keep it in the future, but fuck it. Assert passed, I guess. Test passed. Then test passed. Yeah. Not important anymore. Remember name? Yeah. Important to keep in mind. And then yep. So now in here I have a test result, which is in charge of tracking all the different tests across the entire program. A search result which does the same for asserts. So maybe I should actually specify that I'm struct in charge of tracking all the asserts across the program, and then I'll do tests across the program. There we go. And then I can maybe create a test result for each group as well. Which, yeah, I guess I could have then have to skip that. No. I mean, sure thing. Void function, and then I have test result res. Test result, I don't think it should have test result as an argument, or maybe it should actually. Alright, this is, I think, recording just fine. There we go. And then, okay. I can put it in here now. Okay, that is better now. Alright, might be redundant. Yeah, that is fixed. Might be limited preferred. Mike's name's 64. Or use char name with malloc. I guess that could be a way. Add a void user data field if you want to support parameterized test or context data later. Sure, I might have to think about that in the future. Function to deploy, test group is has a name as well. This part can become error prone, better track than sign in to test count. And only store test on test. I guess that makes sense. Consider turning this into a dynamically sized list if needed, advanced used. Again, make name longer or dynamically allocated. Guess it also makes sense. So let me actually define something like that. Define max insert. Define max length name 64, and then that's what's gonna be used in here. Max length name. Max length name as well. All right, and then mass text test could be out. I guess I could do an signed int test count. There we go. So I then have a function which is add in a group, add test, run test. I mean, I guess I can get rid of the unit group, right? Yeah, init group, I don't think it's that important. Actually, I think it is. So I could say group dot test count equals 0. That's what it's gonna be. And then what else can I add? Test occupied. Yeah. So I have an add test, I have an int 0, and then max test, I guess. And only store test from 0 to test count -1. Better chuck and sign in test count and only store test on so like what if I add a test in here, for example? I guess group so I guess dot name assign empty string C. Whoop. In addition to wilderness version, the following are common to buffer initialization. Okay, so I can have something like this, for example. Damn. Okay, so I can have, for example, group name, or I can have name set the group name to whatever this character is. Right, and then size of the group name. Right, and now I can have test dot I, and then here having group test I. Wait, this might not be what I wanted. Test. No, definitely not what I wanted. Then I have a test, but then this is gonna have a name as well. So test. So my group has a C test, which has a name as well, which I should be able to actually access it here. There we go. There we go now. Alright, so initialize the name, I guess. Yeah, not really the best thing. I guess you could have HR. For example, if I have this in here, right, I have a const add a test. So in my example, I create a new group, and then I have init group. I pass a group, and I guess I could pass a name, and then I could say that you know, group name equals name, or copy. What is? Okay, so this is this is the name. And this is going to be group name. Passing const start parameters type chart discards qualifiers. I thought this was the way to go. Alright, so it turns out it is with this. So this is the name and then name. So the first one is okay, there we go. Now there should be size of group name, I guess. Size of group name -1. Alright, well, then let's say -1. And then in here I can have this. Don't know where we go now. Alright. Alright, so now I add a name and then the test count goes to 0 and then the name of all this is pretty much gone. I guess test is a C test, but I guess this doesn't really matter. And then when I add a test, this is going to be the name of the test. But I guess if I create a new test, should it have a name? Shit, I guess though. Okay, so so when I edit group, I have to test count, and then I also had another one. Yeah. Okay. This one's go to 0, and then I guess I can have this is test count. Sorry, this equals the group test count, and then box tests, and then once I have this, I do group test count plus plus. Yo, what up, French Games? Is this Neovim? Yes, this is Neovim with some plugins and some customization, but yes, this is Neovim. If you want to see my config or you know what plugins I use, you can check that on my GitHub. Oh, I see it in the bar at the top. LOL. Yeah, yeah, I actually did not realize that as well. But yeah. I am using Neovim. Okay, well, this is not what I want actually. Sweet. Alright, so what I can do then is I can just take this, and then I could say test, sorry, int I, yeah, int I is gonna equal to the group test count, I guess, plus plus. But then I don't know if this will actually keep the same. Cat source C test. Maybe this is what I'm in it. Grow up test. Okay. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Okay. will this increase the value of test count or no? That's what I want to know. Okay, by 1, but the result of point to understand about what happens when you assign the result. That means I will be assigned to the original value of, then group test count will be incremented by 1, so not really what I want. Okay, so I guess you can be okay. And so now test occupied. I guess I can test count, right? I mean, sorry. Until the group test count. That's what it can be. I'm gonna work on some Arduino code right now. Oh, that is sick. What are you doing? I do want to get into Arduino as well. I actually have a kit of Arduino. What are you working on? Are you using like the default kind of like guide that Arduino gives you, or are you doing some like more advanced Arduino project? I've been working with my dad for a while now on a temperature controller for home brewing. Damn, that is really cool. Using Arduino Mega out of 50 touchscreen display and some other stuff. Wow, that's crazy. And how complicated is doing something like that? Is it like really hard, or is it good for like a starting project? You know, like a beginner project. Right. Whoops, sorry about that. If group test divided, you can pretty much get rid of this. I don't care. There we go. To assert. Okay. So now I have an add test, which I add a test with a new name, and then a new test, of course. Okay, so now I have this, but at the same time, I don't think I have an option to have this. Anyways, so I have my group, and then when I add a test, I have total test increment here. Run test. I think I should have some sort of let me put it in here. So test group, I think, should have a test result called group result. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. And then when I edit the group, I'm also gonna say, hey, group dot group result is going to be equal to 0, 0, 0. Expected expression, shit, it turns out I cannot do it. Remarkably simple, don't have to use any crazy language features or concepts to make it work. Just reading all the Arduino library docs and checking out the repos is the most time consuming right now. Sweet, sweet, sweet. What are you working on right now? I am doing a testing library in C, kind of like JUnit, which is a testing library in Java that I used a couple of months ago on a project. I just wonder like how hard can it be to do something similar on C, and now that's what I'm doing. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Wait, before you leave to work on your Arduino stuff, are you using like the libraries that Arduino gives you, or are you doing like bare metal programming, like without any form of abstraction? Oh cool, I know C++ crash course introducing the testing framework too. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing like, it's not that I'm following a strict guide on how to do this. I'm going more of like by intuition. And then if I have any question about how to structure it, then I would just ask my dear friend GPT. In the Arduino IDE, you can search up libraries that people submit. Okay, so you are using libraries and stuff, right? I guess you have to if you want to do something like that. A project like the one you mentioned. Because it turns out I cannot do this, which sucks. Ah, shit. Well then, let me actually start it then. Group result dot. God damn it! I don't know what I just did. Test failed equals 0. I guess this should be actually total test. And there's more info button that links to GitHub or like a blog. So yeah, all open source stuff that the community makes mainly. Great, great, great. And like, how long did it take you to be? I mean, I don't know if you're at that level yet, but how long did it take you to be, or to know, reasonably well Arduino? Like, you know, I'm teaching myself Arduino CLI as well instead of using the IDE so I can Sublime test. Oh, I guess I should learn that as well so that I can use NeoVim as well. But like, yeah, how long did it take you to know, yeah, to know reasonably well Arduino? Because I worry that it's gonna take like a lot of time until I fully understand everything, so yeah. But I also want to get into microcontrollers and all that kind of stuff, like embedded programming. Okay, so total test, test failed 0, test passed equals 0 as well. There we go. Okay, that is my name. So name is there. I guess if I do this, then there's not a problem, but there should be a test group, maybe. Alright, it's been a years long process, but I have really bad project finishing, work sustaining skills, lol. Yeah, I mean, I think that happens to pretty much everybody. I also have that problem, you know. I have some projects that I would like to finish, but I just don't. I guess when it gets to a point where I'm satisfied with you know, the current state of the project, so I just leave it there. I've been slowly teaching myself C++ for the last like 10 plus years. Damn. So like, how good at C++ are you then? If it's been 10 years but slowly, like, are you confident in the language? Wait, how is Wimbledon actually? How is this going? Damn, 6-4. Crazy. Okay. Whoa. What the hell? Christian Bacani. I don't know if you're in here, but thanks for the follow. Anyways, not very, no formal training and consistent practice. I think I'm hireable as a junior though. I used to work for a company that used proprietary languages. But those languages must be based on something, right? Like, it's not like their own language from scratch. It's got to be based on some other language. No formal C++ training. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I kind of read a little bit of a tour of C++, and then just got straight into projects, and that's kind of how I learned it. And they're actually super unique. That's crazy. That's crazy. So like, what field of C++ do you know? Because, you know, it's like, you can use C++ for game dev, you can use it for robotics or embedded programming, you can use it for many things. Look up m.epic, the AHR company uses. Wait, what is AHR? AHR M programming language. Is this the one that I'm supposed to be looking at? Okay, electronic health record. I'm also at the beginning of Vulkan tutorials. Damn, I think that is hard as fuck from what I've heard. Is this it? Like, is this the actual M programming language? Software that hospitals use for patient data. Alright. Build direct into the language. Messy database story with prone connection strings for high overhead network interfaces. So this looks like the actual thing, right? Yeah, AHR, I think it is. We use the language a few iterations beyond M, but Epic still uses M, I think. Damn. That's great. Yeah, but I mean, at least from this look, it does look pretty damn unique, you know? At least nothing like I've seen before. That's for sure. It had funky syntax, basically note white spaces allowed, assign variables with whatever that icon is that I don't know how to say in English. Add function called, yeah. It was a JIT compiled languages. Damn. And did you have a good time using this? Because it seems kind of a bit of a pain in the ass to actually use, and not that enjoyable, at least from what I've seen, you know. I enjoyed the programming. Damn. But did you know this before you started to work in that company, or did they teach you the whole language once you actually got into the company? I think I aced the interview test where they just kind of threw the language at us. Okay, so then you knew something about the language before that, right? Nope, it's your experience, I'm just smart. Okay. I guess that is I think that is useful for sure when doing an interview. So you did it just by pure, like, you know, reasoning without knowing anything about the language? I'm good at taking tests, at least. That's pretty helpful. I mean, it does look like the kind of language that not too many people know, and that companies would pay a good amount of money for people that are good in the language. But I might be, you know, talking nonsense here. They gave a couple basic rules, but then yeah, it was a set of problems like a code block and then asking what the output or result would be. Okay, so I thought you had to like program something yourself, not say the output of a certain program. Only downside was I was massively underpaid compared to the median USA software dev. Damn, so that is not that good. Are you from USA though? Because that could be. I mean, I'm guessing you are from the USA, right? I think one of the questions did ask for us to write FISVAS and one or two other things. Okay, so it was a bit of everything. Yeah, with Midwest US. Damn. So it was a language that not too many people knew, kind of funky, and then you were also massively underpaid. That seems like a good time. At least you enjoyed it though. That's an important part. Still great money for my first corporate job, can't lie. Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends on how long that was ago, you know, because things have changed a lot in the last couple of years. But the median software engineer gets like 150k or something stupid. Yeah, I mean, but that is if you work at like a fan company, right? I mean, I don't really know how that works over there. I'm not from the US, so I only know what I see on like YouTube and Reddit and stuff like that, you know, from other people's experiences. There's no way you can make that much money in Spain, which is where I'm from. But yeah. User from the cloud identified test. I guess I should add something. Hey, nice. I want to visit Al-Andalus. Where from? Spain. Yeah. Al-Andalus, huh? Yeah, maybe don't go there saying that. I mean, it's not that they will get mad at you, but you know. And Lucia. That's what that part is called nowadays, at least. Hello, yo, what is up, Darko? How you doing, man? I was just congrats on 400. Thank you, bro. Like I said before, I mean, I never thought I was gonna get any subscribers on this channel, and yet here I am with you know, people watching my stream and 400 subscribers. Shit is crazy, yo. Photo 4 error soon. Good, what about you? I'm doing pretty good. I don't think I will be able to stream for that much longer, because I'm going on a holiday trip tomorrow, so I have to, you know, prepare my bags and all that kind of stuff. Last stream, at least for a while, I'm going for a week, and I don't think I will be able to stream from where I'm going. I don't think the internet is going to be that good. Yeah, I said the Arabic name on purpose. I heard there was some amount of controversy. LOL. I mean, not controversy. At the end of the day, it's part of the story, you know. It's what it once was called, so you can't deny history. But yeah, at the same time, right now in Spain, there's a bit of tension between, you know, there's been, like, I guess, rumors for many years now where they're saying that, you know, the Arabs want to reconquer Al-Andalus, which is not, you know, it's not really good to hear, but yeah. Rising Islamophobia, I think for sure, yeah, especially in the last couple of weeks, it's been crazy. Like literally 3 days ago, that there has been so many different controversies regarding to that in Spain and Madrid. I'm like, yeah, tensions are rising very fast. But yeah, same as this side of the Atlantic. The Arabs couldn't care less, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, at least I'm just speaking from my side, you know. I don't know how it is on the other side, but yeah. Regarding to what Fringe Game said, you know, a lot of Arabs are coming to Spain, and you know, it's not everybody that comes, but some of them are not really respecting the, you know, the culture or the country itself, and they're just like going crazy, you know, committing crimes left and right, and that is really hurting not only the, you know, the country Spain, but also the reputation of the, you know, the immigrants that come to Spain to, you know, basically get a better opportunity in life. But yeah, there's a big controversy with that right now, you know, and people are starting to, you know, get tired of that situation. Me personally, I've not been affected severely by that. I mean, I've not been affected at all, but yeah, so I don't really have an opinion on that. Anyways, what am I supposed to get in here? A test. So yeah, I'm supposed to get a C test. Good luck on your trip. Thank you. I mean, it's a holiday trip. I'm not doing anything, but yeah, I will still program. The only thing is, I don't think I will be able to stream. Maybe I can record a video and then, I don't know, spend like an hour trying to upload it. But yeah, what are you holiday in at? Just in the beach, at Spain. I'm not going to another country or anything like that. I'm just going to the beach. But yeah, let's just say I don't have Wi-Fi over there, and the only internet that I can use is my mobile data, my phone data. Is that how you say it? Yeah, they have to suffer because of some bad apples. Even French national Muslims are suffering. Yeah. I mean, it's happening. What I think has been happening in France for some time. But yeah, it's just a couple of them that come in here and just feel like not respecting anything, and then they're just fucking up everything. You're working on a new project or that earlier one? No, it's the same one. It's I'm still working on C-test. I follow you on GitHub. I'm gonna make a new repository shortly for my rewrite of the Arduino project. All right, bro. Thanks for being in the stream. Appreciate you. And thanks for the follow as well. Wait, how is this going? I know I checked it like a couple of minutes ago, but this is going okay. 6-4 and then 2-1. There we go. Right, yeah, and then Sinner has the ball as well. Not that good. Whoops. There we go. What is your build process like? You mean for this project? I'm using a makefile, basically. Or are you a computer science student? Are you asking me, Darko? If so, then yes, I am a computer science student. But yeah, my build process is... Sorry if that sounds disrespectful. Why would that sound disrespectful, man? Not at all. Let's go. I find make way easier than CMake. Yeah, I think you and like everybody else, I think CMake is like way too fucking complicated. And you know, surely I don't think this is compatible with Windows, but to be honest, I don't really care about that part. But yeah, Darko, I'm sorry, I am a computer science student. The only thing is that like I did some Python in high school, but like not that much, you know. I did a very simple like calculator app, and that was that. And then pretty much by the time that I got into computer science, I got in there because I didn't really know what else to do, which is probably not the smartest decision. But then that's where I discovered programming, and then I got into programming, and then I started liking programming, and one thing led to the other, and now I'm here programming every day. So yeah. So I basically didn't know any programming until I got into CS. Honestly, the language I used to use at work kind of looked like makelang. Do you mean the EM language that you talked about? I will be taking CS2 next year, I guess. So anything I should do before I get there? I mean, Darko, I think you are way ahead of pretty much like 99% of people that get into computer science. Like if you already know how to program, and if you already know, you know, networks and databases and all that kind of stuff, I think you are way ahead of everybody else. Maybe recommendation, I don't know, study maths, I guess, before you get in there, so it can be easier for you, because the first couple of years are at least more theory based, in my experience at least, where you are, you know, going to be taking a lot of math and a lot of like theory classes on how things work, and then afterwards you'll actually start to work on like real projects. But yeah, I think if you already know how to program, which by the things that you talk about, you seem to have a really good level, I think you're gonna be good. So yeah, don't worry about that. Maybe just keep doing things on the side, you know, keep working on your projects, keep learning by yourself, and then yeah, I think you're gonna be really, really good. There was a functional language called FS, and then a higher level markup functional OOP language built on top of FS called MAT. I'm gonna get a CS degree from GU. Wait, I thought you had a CS degree. So how do you learn programming then? Did you learn everything by yourself? And then you started working from that? I have a neuroscience degree. All self-taught books, look, YouTube, C++. Damn. And how did you go from neuroscience into, programming? And then now, computer science. Like, that seems to be a really big change. Were you always into programming, but never really wanted to give it a shot? Or what happened there? I just learned Rust, now thinking some project to do. Got any idea? Anyone? Honestly, no. I don't have any idea for a Rust project. Maybe if you have any C project, you can try to do it in Rust, do a rewrite of the project in Rust. I got a really lucky reference and got the tail end of the tech boom in 2022. I've been into computers and programming since a kid with Dart Basic. Damn, that sounds like a lot of years ago. Sorry if that sounded mean, but yeah. So you started working as a programmer in 2022? Okay, anyways, now what I wanted to have, there we go. Okay, so I guess I should create a C test, right? C test, I guess, test 3. Like 20, lol, not meant at all. It was for a long time. Damn. Maybe a file explorer that is fast and good looking sound good? I mean, yeah, sure. Whatever idea you might have, just go for it. If you are interested in it, then, why ask anybody else? Just go for it. Yeah, technically I did some coding in R for research position when I was finishing university in 2022. Wow, R. Yeah, I think I have mixed opinions on R. I did it for my statistics class. I don't know if I like it or not. There go try and replicate the application, everything. It's a really good file explorer search tool on Windows. At least Cherno recommends it. There you go. Listen to the wise man. Okay, so wait, I actually forgot about what attributes you have, my man. Okay. Then can I say 3? Wait, I don't have any other function. Okay. I guess I could say func equals test 3. No, I cannot. Great. Then in high school I did AP Computer Science, earned college credit if you pass the AP test at the end of the year using Java, but then the day of the test I got suspended for smoking weed in the bathroom. What the fuck, man? Alright. I think what he meant is the name of the application is called Everything, which is, a really good file explorer search tool on Windows. I think that's what he meant. Oh, I didn't get you. You meant replicating Windows application. I think so, yeah. Wait, actually, Everything Windows app. Yep, everything is made by Boyd Tools. But this is a GUI application, right? Not a CLI one. Yo, can I see some pictures? Okay, there we go. Not about that exact. Alright. Whoops. It mentions from hella. So maybe that's why it works so good, no? I guess so. Wait, so this is a function that takes a test result as a parameter. Yeah, I don't think this one takes that as a parameter. So what if I said test3.func equals test2 now? Okay, so that does not complain. Great. Yeah, caching stuff maybe? Maybe, yeah. I choose File Explorer because, let's be real, Windows default File Explorer is low. But then you're going to be using some sort of a GUI library, no? Oh, how are you going to be doing that then? And how much do you know about Rust? Darko? You could use CLI. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess I could have also a function that is a create test, maybe. I don't know. Maybe C test create test, which I guess takes in a Boyd function as well. So shit, how did I do this? Function is a parameter C. Basically, I guess if I got any doubt, I will search for that thing in Google, like if I want. Sure thing. Except Boyd F, a prototype for the function which takes a function parameter that looks like the following. But it is Boyd. This is a Boyd function, right? Yeah. So there's Boyd, and then Boyd, but that is then a pointer. Okay, no. Okay, no. I guess I can call you func, and then you take a C test. You actually take a pointer to thesis. Dude, I did something like this. A few dictionary string actions or search how to it in Rust. I want to make a little app that reads PC internal temperatures. Wait. Okay. If you do like search string as your terminal command or rx to your executable, you could just print out or write to a file with results. Do you mean like a similar to like where is command in Linux? Where is C? Not really good. Something like this, that it just lists out the output. I want to make a little app, yeah, that reads PC internal temperatures. Do you have any idea on how to do that? I guess that's information that the OS reports, right? Or do you have to access somewhere else? I'm not familiar with where is. That's so sick. Wait, do you use Linux or Windows? Like in a day-to-day basis? Yikes. C-test. Yikes, I did the exact same thing again. Okay. No. No, I've only done one Google search so far. It looks like Windows API is the way to go. Dude, I've never used Windows API, but it seems to give you like pretty much everything that you need, no? PC Linux, have Ubuntu on a laptop. Used to have a Mac, but sold because poor. Yeah, I mean, I think Apple products are just for people that are, you know, rich AF. What the actual fuck is going on? I'm not too sure about PC Windows. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. So, like, do you use Linux that often? Or is this like, you know, whenever you work on your laptop because you're not able to get into your PC that you then use Linux? Alright, let me pull this up. Damn, 40 to 2, that's not really good. When I've tried installing any Linux distro besides Ubuntu 24, I get errors with my network driver. Damn. That's crazy. Like same error whether it was Arch or Red Hat or Mint. That is interesting. And then, I mean, I guess, have you tried looking for a fix on that specific driver? Or is it just that it's not compatible with you know, with Linux? Using what? Wait, I don't know what you mean by that. But I mean, I think I had a, but is it like when you're actually installing the distro, or once it's installed and you get an error with that that driver, or is it during the installation of Linux? Okay, so then I guess I could, where's this test? I'm just gonna put it in here. And then my thing has, okay, has a bool passed, a function, and then that. Okay. Install works, but can't connect to Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Not even Ethernet? Damn. Some parts I've installed are hindered, and I think actually for Ubuntu. I mean, I think I have a similar problem with my laptop where, you know, the driver does not work at all. Like, I'm not able to get any Wi-Fi, and the only way I can connect to the internet, because it doesn't have a Ethernet port, although I could, you know, technically buy a kind of like a USB adapter, but you know, the only way that I can connect to the internet is by plugging my phone into the laptop and then sharing the phone data to the laptop, which is not great. But yeah, that's the only way that I can actually use Linux on my laptop. Okay, so I guess I could say name. So the first one is the function. Could I say, you know, func? Then the name, could I say name? Which I don't think I can. And then, you know, false. Yeah, that's probably what I thought was gonna happen. Okay, so then it's gonna be return created test. But then created test, actually let me certain copy. So this would be created test dot name. This would be name. This would be size of. I don't think I'm doing this right. Oh yeah. Size of created test dot name -1. There we go. Oh shit, that sounds rough. Wait, why is that? Why is what? Did you guys saw Nothing 3.8? I don't know about features, but it kind of looks cool. Yeah, I have seen it, but I think the other one, the Nothing Phone 3. You mean this one? Dude, I think the previous one looked way better than this one. The Nothing. Let's see if I can actually get it in here. Sub all. Not Phone 3. Oh, so is it this one? The one that you were talking about, Darko, or this one? Oh, 3A. So yeah, you must mean this one then. Why can't you connect to the internet any other way on Linux? Because the driver or the network card that my laptop uses is not compatible with Linux. And so this one then, and then I don't know why, but I looked on forums and stuff like that, and it seems that the laptop was made specifically for Windows, like only specifically for Linux. So every component that it has is pretty much like only compatible with Linux. I mean, sorry, for Windows, which is something that I did not check before buying the laptop, and you know, now I kind of regret because it's an Asus laptop, and maybe I should have gotten a Lenovo one because those ones are usually pretty compatible with Linux. A phone, yep, a phone. I mean, I think this one, yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe, yeah, the 3A is the one that actually looks the best. This one, I think it looks complete whack. I don't like it at all. Like, why have this camera placement? Looks so weird. You know, I think I like more this kind of design. I think I had the same issue whether I tried installing on my PC or my laptop, which was weird. Yeah, I mean, looking for solutions, there was I could either swap the network card, but then I think I lose the warranty, which is not great because I still have that. Or I could buy kind of like a USB network card, but I think the ones that are actually Linux compatible, I don't think I can get them from Spain. Or like at least I have to buy them from some pretty sketchy places, which is not ideal. Wait, you can buy Nothing clothes. $100 for this shit? Nah. What are you talking about, man? $25 for a fucking case. Alright. Anyways, then say created test.func equals func. Of course not. Are they Android? Yes, I think they are. I mean, it uses its own OS, I think, which is called Nothing OS. But I think it's based on Android. Nothing OS. Yeah, Android 15. So yeah, it allows for like some customization, but pretty much it's just Android under the hood. That's lit. Wait, what? The OS or what do you mean? Fuck. So I'm getting a pointer to function, but at the same time this is a function which takes a rest. Don't think I can put this as a parameter on my function, right? Oh, because it's a test, yeah, test result called res. Alright, this is a test result called res. Okay, so now there we go. That's why it wasn't working. The whole deal, I fuck with alternative brands in OS. Yeah, I mean, I think the design is really good, and like the philosophy that they have. I think they allow the community to, you know, submit different parts of the OS. Like for example, in this phone, you have like okay, what is it? This little screen, for example. I think you can submit like your own functionality for it, which I think is pretty neat. And then yeah, I think they've done something similar for other products as well. And then they rely heavily on the feedback of the community. Damn. Nikita, hey, how are you? Yo, how you doing, man? You got us here talking about smartphones. Yeah, it says Nothing OS 3 is powered by Android 15. Yeah. Like putting a fan animation would be good. Yeah, I mean, I've not really looked deeply into it. The only thing that I saw was this Marcus Brownlee, is how you say it. But yeah, he made a video talking about the new phone 3. And he mentioned that. But I think the price is a little bit high, Only other smartphone OS kernel I know of it is... whoa. Only other smartphone OS kernel I know of it, Windows. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Glyph mirror. Okay, so this is what it is. Oh, so yeah, you can take a photo and you can actually put it in the mirror as well. Oh, it's not Windows. Okay, besides iOS and Android. Okay. That makes more sense. So now I could go in here and say, create test, and then I could have, test 1 with my good old function, which should be test 2, and then yeah, you don't take anything else, right? Boom. And then I just add my test 3, and then I just run tests, and that's pretty much it. Useless thing, isn't it? Wait, what do you mean, the glyph mirror? I mean, it looks cool, but yeah, not really that useful. I mean, maybe if you have your phone like this, I think if you get a notification, then it would actually light up. But yeah, there's not really that many use cases for it. Thanks for letting us distract you. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. If I didn't want people to distract me, I wouldn't be streaming. So that's great. I want you guys to distract me as much as possible. How do you pronounce your name? I think it depends on like whatever you want to call it. Technically, like in Spanish is de Albert, but in English you can say de Albert, Dilbert, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, technically in Spanish is de Albert. Technically it's 2 words, but I just kind of like mix them together. Yeah, de Albert. I mean, pretty much ever since like my entire life in school, I've not been called by my name, but rather de Albert. So it's just kind of like a nickname, which stuck with me. I mean, not really a nickname. It's my is Albert fine? Yeah, sure. You can call me Albert if you want, but it's not really a nickname. It's my surname, second name. How do you say that in like American English? Like surname, I think, is the one for like British English. Last name might be the word actually, but yeah, it's my last name, surname, family name. Yeah, so that's what it is. And then people just started calling me that, which I don't mind. And then it just kind of stuck with me, and I used it on video games, and I used it on different accounts. And now, when creating this channel, I thought, why not? I'm gonna use it. use it here as well. So yeah. Okay, so they took shit. Sinner won the second set. Fuck. I'm guessing this is best of 3 sets or 5 sets. This stream is inspiring. I've been wanting to try out streaming here and or on Twitch doing core or like Counter-Strike surf. Imagine like an 8-hour stream just doing surf in Counter-Strike. That would be crazy. But yeah, I mean, I first started out in Twitch or on Twitch, and then I realized, like, since I have most of my subscribers on YouTube, why would I make it hard for myself and for people to find my stream by doing it on Twitch? So I just started doing it on YouTube instead, and it's been really nice so far. So I guess I can add a test, run tests. Okay, so it runs. Okay, so maybe I should change the name. Group. Run group and then run tests. There we go. But yeah, I mean, if you want to give it a try, then give it a try, man. What's there to lose? Time, maybe? Run group. Okay. So then you run the group itself. Alright. So has anyone thought of making an OS that can run any executables from other OS like .app, .exe, .deb, or RPM all in one OS and is optimized? I think that is very complicated. I mean, you can maybe do it in, by using containers or stuff like that to execute the different executables. It would be a good use of time maybe today as well and talk about the Arduino. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can put a webcam, with the Arduino and then the code as well on the screen, and that would be a good stream. Argo, I think that what you mean is pretty complicated. I mean, being compatible with all those different executables while also being optimized, I think it's pretty complicated because, for example, .exe is optimized for the Windows operative system, which is very different from like a Linux. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess it would depend on how CPU architectures differ. Yeah. That also takes, that is also something to take into account. Like Apple M series CPU GPU are way different than an Intel or AMD CPU. Yep. By the way, what do you think about Wine? Is it optimized well? I think it's optimized. I mean, I don't think I've tried it a couple of times, I think, and I think it's pretty good. It depends. If you use Wine for video games, which you can use, I think, Wine itself, or you can use a more kind of optimized version of it called Proton. I think you can get like pretty similar performance from what you would get in Windows. I was thinking like you could reverse engineer and recompile it in a new format. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea, but behind it, like even with like if you have a like you can take a Windows made for Intel, and that uses a specific assembly language, and then you can take the same operating system, Windows again, with a Snapdragon, the ones that they released a couple of months ago, I think, that uses a completely different assembly, and so you have pretty much like a translation, I think, layer to make sure that runs on Windows. It's too hard, and don't forget about static libs. Yeah, I mean, I think you would need the cooperation of, Microsoft, Apple, and like the Linux Foundation to make sure that, all of those things would work together. Like there's no syssocket.h in Windows. Yep. Wrong group. And then this is wrong groups. All right, that makes more sense now. There we go. Where's my boo thing? Yeah, I'm very delusional. You would have to rewrite the whole code. Maybe AX can help, but they must be so powerful. Yeah. Trying to reverse decompile something or recompile probably easiest. If there were some there already, wouldn't mean needing developers. LOL. Versus like directly translated bytecode from one format to another. Yeah. Yep. This is supposed to take in my test 3 and then run group. Oh, because I think the function itself does not execute it, right? There we go. No member name res in ctest. Group test that res. Fuck. Let me search if anyone has tried to do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Wait, what do you mean? Like, what French said? Like, decompile and then recompile in another, like assembly language? I'm sure somebody has tried that already. Wait, so I think I had something like that. Test result, group result. Okay. Wait. What am I trying to do? Okay, so I'm taking a function that takes a test result. Alright, which is a group result, but ctest itself, the test itself does not take a test result. It only takes the group thing. I guess you could take, I don't know how I called it. Group result, maybe? Okay. Great. Yeah, I mean, if you want to change something in bytecode, well, good luck. The same with assembly. Yep. Like, what does this company use different formats? Which companies? I mean, I think he's talking about, you know, Windows using .exe, and then Linux using whatever the heck they want. Yeah, but doing that at runtime will be laggy. Yep. Many different ideas, different architectures of the hardware, etc. Yep. I guess like trying to read the executable file, and if it says read this register for Linux and do the equivalent for the target platform. Yeah, but like what if the target platform does not have that same register, you know? What if you're working with different CPU architectures then? You run into another problem. You know, there's instructions in one assembly that might not exist in the other. So how do you go about that? Alright, so that is interesting for sure. Looking at the group results, wow. But I mean, you need a test result for sure. Okay, so let me actually do something. No, print statements are nearly impossible because executable files is just instruction plus data. There may not be such instruction in target OS, so you fail. So we have to make a CPU from scratch that can handle all of this. I mean, you would have to make it look like a universal, CPU architecture, which I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But yeah, for example, what Nikita said, not only instructions plus data, like for example, that data that the OS uses, might be different from like a .exe needs to like, an executable in Linux. It might require different data to actually work. And then yeah, the difference in instructions and all that kind of stuff. And how does the program request certain information about the OS and all that. Those things are completely different. But like, hey, I think that would be a cool project if you want to try it out, Darko. Just make a new architecture from scratch that allows all executables to work. Okay, where's this? Fuck. I'm able to just debug this thing. I don't think I will. Fuck. Abort. I'm actually... Bro, what are you... Please tell me there's a... No, there's not. No, there's not. Obvious code. Yeah, fuck it. I shouldn't have added everything in that commit, but fuck it. I mean, even structure exec can be different, like data first and instructions after. Yep. Dude, Nikita, how do you know all this, bro? What are you, like, bro, what? It would be possible if all OS come together, like Windows and Mac and Linux, and make it default executable. By the way, I want to get started on low-level development for RISC-V. So we actually are in binary data. I mean, yeah, for example, I think it's closer to actually happening between, Mac OS and Linux, because they both come from Unix. So they already share a lot of similarities, but yeah, I shouldn't have pushed origin test groups. But for example, between Windows and Linux, I think is like they're complete opposites. Yep, I'm smart. Hehe, joke. I mean, dude, you're super smart to know all these things at 14. Man, like, you're crazy. We're so nerds, guys. I mean, that's good, right? Wait, so I don't want this to track my BS folder. Okay, it's not being tracked. Great. And this is not going to allow me to debug easily, right? Debug, yep, so alright, fuck you then. Fuck you, mama wobble. So wait, I can actually start with this. Clear test first try, added successfully. Okay, and then what, using VS Code for debugging in Linux? What do you want me to use? GDB? Like, dude, I just wanted to see where it was crashing. Okay, don't kill me, Nikita, please. Okay, so then I added test, and then this reported that it was added successfully, and then yeah, I was running tests. Okay, so Wait, that could be a problem as well. Or CGDB, it's prettier. Isn't VS Code good? Yeah, I mean, give us your reasons, Nikita. Please. Okay, so I actually might know where this is coming from, because this is running test and then there's the group test name. Okay, but I've added a test as well. Like this one has a name. Okay, what if I try to do, printf yeah, okay, name of this one, and then it should be running test. I mean, it's good, but it's not for the true Linux users. Like, it's most customizable code editor I came so far. Then you have to try any of them. That is customizable as shit. Okay, so this works. So I create a test, then I add a test to the group. Okay, yeah, but at the same time I've given this, yeah. Okay, so I guess in here when I add the test, I'm giving it a new name. Yep. Okay. Well, let's just not do that for now. Whoa. Nope. Actually, no, I don't. I just want a simple, no overwhelming code editor. Except Notepad, it's too simple. By the way, when I was installing Kali for my first time, I've tried Nano tool for fixed element path. It's such a shit. I mean, how people actually use it, it's ugly, it's slow. I mean, it's old as fuck. That's why people have been using it for a long time. Because it's one of the oldest text editors, as well one of the easiest as well. But yeah, Darko, you said you were using the beam motions on VS Code, right? So like you already know some of like the BIM motions. Yeah, but isn't BI older? I think it is, yeah. But also BI comes installed with I think pretty much every single Linux distro. Just like Nano. You can use either Nano or VI. Doesn't matter. Okay, so not in here. I have NeoVim and BIM too, but don't use it. Wait, but you have NeoVim on Windows, right? Or did you actually manage to install Linux now? Bro, I have NeoVim and BIM and I didn't use NeoVim. Then you're missing out, bro. You are missing out. So why use BIM and not NeoVim? Nikita, give me your reasons. Running test, and I execute the function. So yikes, yeah, I know what's happening. Yeah, I know exactly what's happening. So add group or add test. This should be more of like, I get this and then afterwards. All right, so There we go. Boo. Oh, I've tried NeoVim desktop for Linux. I mean, it was a bad decision. Wait, NeoVim desktop for Linux? What? I did install Linux, but it wasn't for me. Wait, but how long did you try it for? Like, give it a fair try, you know, use it for a couple of months at least. We're gonna start with NeoVim is too fancy. I don't like it. Too fancy? What do you mean? Like vanilla NeoVim comes with nothing. How can that be fancy? You know, and actually, Vim uses Vim script, right? I think it's way easier to set up your NeoVim using Lua than, you know, Vim using Vim script. It's way more documented and way easier to use as well. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but is there any difference with NeoVim then? Yeah, I think what I just said that Vim uses Vim script, no? Vim scripting language. And then NeoVim uses Lua. Which, yet again, it's way easier. So NeoVim is useless without plugins. I mean, kind of like the same thing. NeoVim is literally the same thing as Vim without plugins. But then it becomes easier to add plugins. Like ImageAdd or whatever you use, I don't use any of the default distros of NeoVim. I have a vanilla NeoVim and then I have a couple of plugins installed. But I just set up my .bmrc file and I'm fine. I really need nothing more. I mean, if, you know, you're good with that, then, you know, you're good with that. You know, there's people that might still program in like Notepad and don't need any cool features or anything like that. After reinstalling Windows back, my hard disk got glitchy, and whenever I open it, now my entire file explorer crashes and nothing in it works. Crazy, to say the least. But I feel like there are some, you know, plugins that are actually useful. You know, some of them might be, yeah, like you said, fancy. But, you know, fuck. But, you know, for example, if I'm working on a project, you know, a really big project, and I wanted to see, okay, so, wait, actually, is this a plugin? I think it is, yeah. Can you do this in Vim? You know, you can look for every single word that appears, every single include word that appears in a folder, you know, in a workspace, which I think is pretty helpful. You can also use LSPs and do all those things. I can do the same in Vim. Yeah, like I said, I've never really tried Vim itself, just input include in command line. But then you'd have to exit Vim and go into the command line and then go back into Vim, no? Gotcha. Like I've used it, I think I have it in my laptop, but yeah, you know, I don't use any of the features it has. Like I use it to like edit a quick file and then exit out of it. That's pretty much command line in Vim. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I'm like, after installing Windows, my PC tried to fix it like it's shown it before starting PC, fixing hard disk, and now restart and sat down and stuck at the loading, so I just hold power button and sat down. Yeah, where do you, yeah, I go that far. I know it's bad, but can't do anything. Did you partition the disk, Darko? Or did you just put everything in the same partition? Which is not really good. And I don't think if you actually can do, such thing. I did. Okay, then that's definitely weird. That is definitely very weird to see. Okay, so I have run group, then I'm gonna add a new one called, I think it's in here, right? Yeah, I guess. And run test, which takes a C test called, I guess, test, subnominated. Gotcha. By the way, I've got a problem with shutting down my PC with Arch Linux. There's probably a stop job is running a left display manager. Had not you had one? I am not using Arch, so no, I've not had that problem. I am using Fedora, so don't really know what you're talking about. But I'm sure there's people that have had that same problem in the Arch community, no? Like what is it? A stop job is running, I don't know how to type anymore. Is running light display manager Arch. Boom. Yeah, that are okay. What? I thought you were using Arch. No, I'm not using Arch. I tried to use it once, and I ended up deleting my entire disk, which was not great because that also included my Windows partition, and I had to use my laptop the next day for an exam. So that was not good. But no, I'm using Fedora with Hyperland. That's what it is. But I'm too lazy to solve it, so I just hold power and button. What do you mean? Like you're doing all these things with BIM and then all that kind of projects that you're doing, but then you're too lazy to fix that? Come on, man. But how what? How did I end up deleting my entire disk? Probably because I messed up the partition port to installing. How you delete it? Yeah, I think I don't know. I didn't partition the disk correctly, and I don't know. I thought it was all done, and then I hit install, and then I got like a a pretty big error, and then my laptop rebooted, and when it powered back on, it said empty disk, looking for anything to boot, and then it just started rebooting, saying that same thing over and over again, which was not really great. It doesn't shut down, they just hold power about it. Bruh, okay, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty weird, I don't know. But yeah, that was my Arch experience. Anyways, this wants to take forever to load, so whatever. Run test. Okay, so run test is gonna be pretty by the way, I just used Fedora for like 5 hours today. I guess I will dual boot again. But did you use it in a VM or how did you do it? By the way, are you using Bento or Rufus or whatever? Just curious. Are you asking me or Darko? Rufus is good. Yeah, Rufus is good. That's the only one that I've used. I guess I can take, well, no, I don't want to take this one. I'm just gonna do a test. Flunk with, damn. How can I do this? Two of your arguments. Yeah. That's crazy. No, I did in my PC. You. Isn't Bentoy faster and easier? But like, you mean to like dual boot? You know, to like load the .iso file on the USB? I mean, for me, I haven't had any problems with Rufus, so that's the only one that I've used. I wasn't that hard since I was installing both Fedora and Windows in the same disk. Okay. Haven't used it, so I'm not sure. Rufus is quick enough to not make me mad and very simple. Yep. Same thing. Shit, so maybe it doesn't have to take a parameter then. Test result. I mean, I guess it should, honestly. I haven't tried to do partitions or anything with Rufus though. And on Windows some options are grayed out, and I don't know why when previously they've been selectable. I mean, when I want to do partitions, I just use the, I don't know exactly how it's called, the disk management program that Windows has by default. By the way, when I was trying Rufus Windows Defender, it was telling me that I got all kinds of malware possible. There were Trojans, keylogger, and more, lol. So maybe that wasn't Rufus, and maybe some sketchy program that you downloaded. Because I've never had that kind of problem with Rufus, for sure. We will never know. Maybe you have some security issues then. I don't think I had that with Rufus. Yeah, me neither. Because my Windows is no more. So you no longer use Windows? And only use Linux or what? Yep. Damn. Nothing more. Just Arch, nothing more. Crazy. So you don't play any video games at all? Or do you play them on Arch? Nikita, if you fix your shutdown issue, let me know how. But I think his problem is something Linux related, no? The problem that Nikita has, and then I think your problem is, I don't know what it has to do with Nikita's problem. I'm thinking of using NixOS as a stable OS, but I'm too lazy to install it. Dude, why do you have to make it so hard on yourself? Like, I think NixOS is even more complicated to set up than Arch. Like, why don't you use a, Ubuntu, Debian, this kind of distributions? Especially I think with NixOS you have to spend like the entire day configuring everything, which is not good. Not too easy. Alright. But you didn't answer my question. Do you play any video games on Arch? Or do you just not play any at all? Yeah, but its file system idea is really nice. Nope. Damn. Albert has nothing to say that. Just all doomed sometimes. Crazy. Do you mean the file system idea? Do you mean the NixOS file system idea or what? I'm thinking about setting up Wine and play Voices of the Void. I've never heard of that game. Voices of the Void. Survival game with sandbox games elements. All right. But is there any gameplay? I guess that's how the gameplay looks. Wait, can you actually play this? And how do you play this? Download now. Can you play this on? Oh, you said Wine. Okay. Well, I guess you have to look if it's actually compatible with Linux, no? I mean, even if using Wine, will it still work? It's pretty popular in Russian community, I guess. That's what it is. RU. Linux. Make sure you have some kind of bottle app or some kind of Firecracker manager that can extract 7C files. I use bottles and PCIP. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Not gonna lie, guys. I think that's gonna be it for today. I have to go and make my luggage for tomorrow because I have to wake up pretty early in the morning. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. It's not like I've done that much, but yeah. Downloading Voice in the Void. Oh, wait, are you actually downloading it right now? Or do you mean like I don't think I downloaded anything? I think. But Voices of the Void. But yeah, thanks so much for the stream. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, I'll be gone for a week. I don't know if I will be able to stream, but yeah. In the meantime, I will try to post something on YouTube. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try my best. But thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.